what I want to cover here today is a surefire method for you to understand exactly how to start earning money as quick as humanly possible and to create something that will continue to pay you for years down the road. What is it that I want to show you that is the easiest and the quickest way to really succeed in this business? Well, it's very, very simple. Called building a list. Okay, now why a list? Why should you focus all your efforts on building a list? Well, a couple of reasons. The number one reason is what everybody thinks they have in their house. What do most people think their house is? Ever hear, oh, the house is your biggest investment, it's your biggest asset, it's the largest asset you own? Well, when you think about it, does your house pay you money each and every month? Probably not, unless you have rentals. Rentals would be an example of an asset. It's paying you. If you're paying for your house, guess what? You have yourself a big old liability. A list is an asset. It's something that can be monetized. It's something that can be sold. It's something that can be rented. It's something that can grow and really cultivate and become very, very valuable. Some lists are worth millions and millions and millions of dollars. You just have to learn how to grow it. Okay, so why else? Why else is a list so important? Well, it gives us a very strong tool to use. It gives us leverage. When you have a list, you're leveraging the power of the entire group. Now, in this business, if you've been in the business a little while and you've talked to people in the business and people are talking about lists and you're like, oh, I don't have a list, I can't make any money, my list is only 100 people, or, you know, my list is small, it's only 1,000 people, or sometimes in the internet marketing community, you might meet people that might have a 10,000 person list. And they might, yeah, it's still small because there's a lot of others with 50,000 and 70,000 and 100,000 and some with like millions, okay? The thing is that you get to leverage all of those people. And when you really think about it, imagine having 1,000 people in a room all there for you. Changes your sort of thought about the size of a list. And you're going to learn in this course that it's not 100% about the size. There's also a key component that really drives the monetary value of that list, and we'll cover that as well. But so number one, a list builds an asset. It creates leverage, okay? And really, when it all comes down to it, it's fast. You can get fast money if you have a good list. Case in point, there was a situation where something came up and a buddy of mine, contacted me and said, hey, can you send over, a few $100 into my PayPal account? Something happened and I needed to cover something. And I was like, okay, yeah, sure, no problem. I went into my PayPal account, nothing in there. Well, it wasn't nothing. It just wasn't enough to cover everything. And so all I did was I had something that was going to PayPal that I was selling. I put together a quick email. I shot it out to my list. Within a couple hours, I had, actually it was like $790, boom, within 2 hours into my PayPal account. So I transferred the money, boom, done. It's fast. You have a list, you send out an email, the email has a call to action. If the call to action is to buy something, if you're selling it and keeping 100% of the money, but if that's the case, boom, you got the money right there. So that's just one reason. It's fast, okay? And then overall, when you put the whole big picture together, what a list does is it really provides you a foundation. Security. When you have a business for yourself, security is a big thing for a lot of people. A list gives that to you. If you've got a 20,000 person list and they like and trust you and you've learned how to bond with them and you know how that list operates, that list can make you hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars each and every year. Okay? It's very powerful to understand how to build a list and then how to work with it properly to, really monetize that. As far as the tools that you need what's called an autoresponder. This is what actually sends out your emails. Okay, so it's a company that emails are forwarded into. and then you have a big list of them, a big pile of them. So you've got the email set up. The next thing that you really need, okay, is, well, you need a domain name. Okay, you need what they call a hosting account. By the way, I don't recommend GoDaddy for hosting. Okay, for domain names, GoDaddy's fine. They offer a lot for the value. But whatever hosting account you get, make sure that you get a cPanel. This is really important because it'll just make your life a hell of a lot easier. Okay, now you need these to actually control your own website. And you're going to understand that control is important. This is a business. You need to understand and accept that responsibility and run your business like a business. So getting a hosting account and domain name is a must. Also, as far as creative, that would be in this category, which you would have your incentive. What's an incentive? An incentive is something that people want, and you're offering it to them for their name and email. Okay? Free report explains the benefits of XYZ. Give me your name and email, and I'll give you this cool report. Free shocking video explains, boom, name and email. You need an incentive. You need something to give away. You need a reason for them to get onto your list. It could be, I've got this really kick-ass once-a-week newsletter. Get on my list, I'll give you the newsletter. Could be anything. Okay, but you need an incentive. You need something to entice people to come onto your list. And it better be good. Because if it sucks, first impressions, very important. Okay, and then you need an offer. You need a way to get money. Plain and simple. They're getting into your list for a reason. Chances are they've got a problem. Something that hopefully you can solve for them. And if you could solve it, guess what? If it's a fair and equitable deal, they buy, you make money. I mean, when you think about it, it's really not much to build something that can be so much. But people just get lost in the overall big picture, I guess, as far as now putting it all together. So let me step back before I actually go into the computer. Okay, so the next thing that I want to go over with you guys is really the basic overall big picture of how this all works. What I find when I'm learning is if I can see a big picture and then put together the little pieces within the big picture, I find that I pick things up a lot faster. So that's how I want to explain this to you, with the hopes that you'll really understand and grasp it and put it to use and start getting results immediately. Okay, so let's talk about step one. Okay. Basically, step one starts with a capture page. Okay, now in a capture page, there's several different styles and stuff like that. What we've found best is just basically something for free and have either something pointing to an opt-in box, or you see a lot of them up here where you have the opt-in box right here. Okay, so either way, both of these designs work well. So you have that. Now what you need is to give them something free. This is your incentive. The reason for them to get on your list. This is what you're going to either give them on the next page, or you're going to send them in an email. Either way, they're going to get something free from you. Now, the other thing that you need to do is you need to send them to an offer. Got to be a way for them to pay you initially. You're going to do far better if you send them to an initial offer and then continue with your follow-ups. Okay, because then after the offer, they have the list over here. Okay, this is the list of all your emails. okay, they're going to get followed up with, and then the follow-up emails are going to send them to maybe another offer, maybe some content, maybe just something really cool. Okay, you're going to learn that that's actually pretty cool to do. You're bonding with your list. You're not just always pitching them. Okay, and then what you can do is from these follow-ups, let's say you have your original offer, you could send them back to that original offer through follow-ups. Okay, but it's also wise to not only just focus on one offer, but to focus on what the needs and desires are of the entire list. Because chances are they're going to buy other types of products or services within that entire niche or market. So why not be the one to offer it to them? If they like and trust you, they're going to take your recommendations pretty seriously. And thus you make what they call affiliate commissions by marketing other people's products. And this model works very, very well. Now, the one thing I will say is that your incentive, the better this is, the more money you make on the whole process. Okay, well, why is that? Well, because if your incentive is kick-ass, they're going to want to get more stuff from you. And when you can intermix your offers with content, with bonding, and you really get your group of people, your followers, to like and trust you and to respect your opinion and, just to stay with you, they're going to buy from you, and you're going to make money, all with the push of a button. I mean, it really, really is not that difficult. Okay, so that's step one. What would step two be? Okay, you've got it all in play. You've got everything all set up. You've got autoresponders set up. You've got an offer to send people to. You've got a kick-ass incentive. You've got a kick-ass capture page. Okay, well, you need traffic. Okay, and not just any traffic. I'm not talking about going to some hits farms, and buying 1 million hits to your website from a bunch of pop-ups and gaming sites in Thailand and Hong Kong and all that crap. I'm talking about targeted traffic. Okay, you want to drive targeted traffic to this site as much as possible. Okay, so you need to have the traffic. It goes without saying, you need to introduce people to your stuff in order to make money and get them on your list. Duh. Okay, so you need to know how to generate targeted traffic. Okay, well, this is where the next step comes in of this. So now it's just a numbers game. Now it's, well, if I spend $1, I get back $1.50. Okay, if I spend 1,000, I get back 1,500. Okay, if I spend 10,000, I get back 15,000. How fast can we scale this up, and how many of these can we build? Because at the end of the day, when you really are looking at your numbers, you're looking at how big did you grow your list? How big is your list? 1,000 people? 2,000? 5,000? 10,000? Okay, whatever. Then you take that number and you divide it with the amount of money that you made. Okay, so you divide it into it. So you made $10,000, and you made $10,000 for the year, and you brought in 1,000 leads. Well, guess what? Each lead was worth $10 to you. Okay? So now you know that your lead, okay, if a lead, the cost was $10. That's what you made. That was the profit. You made $10,000 off 1,000 people. You made $10 a lead. Okay. Well, now what was the cost of that lead? How much did you spend to get those 10,000 leads? Or the 1,000 leads? How much did you spend to get those 1,000 leads? Okay, whatever the number is. Let's say it cost you, $1,000. Okay, so you paid $1 a lead. So you made $9 a lead. Well, if you know that, well, now, how do I make more money? Very simple. Spend $2,000. Hell, go for it. Spend $10,000. Put the $9,000 you just made back into the business, and now next year you'll have $90,000. Okay, it's not very difficult, but you have to put together all the pieces correctly in order for it to pay long-term dividends. So what I'd like to do is, I hope you got a lot out of that, and I hope the clouds are parting. I remember when I was first getting involved in the business, how I would be staring at the computer for hours, and I'd be reading, and I'd be watching videos. And for the longest time, I just didn't get it. It was just like, I don't get it. And I remember when I started to get it, and I started to understand the vocabulary, and I started to get through my learning curve, and I started to, really understand what I was watching and reading, that it was a very exciting time for me. And that's when my business really exploded. Okay, and I know that it could do the same for you. I just hope you're at that point where the clouds are starting to part a little bit, and you're starting to get a handle on this, because it's really, really very simple. And I think you're going to be very surprised at how simple it is. Because I remember, again, in the very beginning, I was terrified, absolutely terrified of putting together my own sites. And you're going to soon discover it's really, really simple and actually a lot of fun. So let's go take a look at the next video.